Welcome to day 4 of Global Money Week. Today we're talking about investing, my favorite topic. So when it comes to investing, people always feel like, oh, you know what, investing is very risky, I can lose money, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm scared, all that stuff. Today we'll be talking about what investing means, how to go about investing, where to invest in, and other terms that might come up. So the first thing is, what does investing even mean? Investing basically means putting money aside in an asset that will give you returns in the future. So unlike savings where you're just putting money like somewhere and you're not really getting return on your money, investing is the opposite in the sense that when you invest money, it is growing on its own, like without any input from you. It is already growing by itself. So like your money generating return and is growing faster, right? So when it comes to investing, what are like some of the things that you should know? Investing is compound interest. Compound interest just basically means when your return is bringing returns. So think of it like this: you invest in something today, that thing gives you a return of 10%. Now that 10% return also brings its own return, and then it just keeps on growing like that. That is what compound interest is, and that is the way most people, like most of the wealthiest people in the world today, got their wealth through compound interest. When you start early and then you give your money time to grow through that process of compound interest, your money grows very, very fast because your interest is getting interest on the interest. Basically, it's just interest getting interest on interest. So that's something to also like look out for when investing money. How do I invest in assets that will give me compound interest? Super important. The second thing is also around diversifying your investment. So we live in a world that is very uncertain. You cannot afford to have just one investment asset or one asset class because anything can happen, right? So it's always good to have at least 3 different asset classes. What do I mean? So don't just put your money like say in the stock market. No, have like let's say stock market, you have agri investments, you have like let's say treasury bills, so always spread your assets your money over different assets so that when one is not doing well, the other one is doing well. If you put your money in one, we all know what they say, don't put your money in one, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because if you do that, if anything happens to the basket, like all your whole money is gone. So that's something to also think about when investing money. How do I spread my assets over like different baskets in a way that kind of reduces my risks or reduces my exposure when there is, let's say, economic breakdown or whatever. So with that being said, how then do I go about investing, or what should I do before I invest? First of all, you need to like know your investment goal. Similar to how I talked about knowing your savings goal in the last video. So what is your investment goal? What are you investing for? So some people just say, oh, I want to invest and be rich. That's not a goal. Do you want to invest for an MBA? Do you want to invest for, let's say, to own a house? Do you want to invest to, let's say, get married or whatever? Do you want to invest for your kids' future? Or do you want to invest for retirement? You must have a goal for investing. If you don't have a goal for investing, then you might just end up doing random stuff, And when you have a goal, it kind of also helps you streamline your investment decisions. The second thing is that what is my risk profile? What that means is that so people are usually like either high risk, low risk, or moderate risk. So high risk means that they are like very risk seeking. They don't care, like they don't really care if the market is going down because they know that what, markets will always go back up. So those people are high risk people. People that are low risk are people that are like they don't want any risk at all. Like they just want the money to just be there and just be growing. The money must never go down. It must always keep going up. And then you can also be like medium risk, which is like you just medium. You can take both sides, None of these parts of these people are like, none of these type of people are bad, but just knowing where you fall will help you in choosing an investment option. I'll give you an example. If you're, for instance, a low risk investor, you have no business being in the stock market because the stock market is it's super high risk, So if you know that you're a low risk investor, you should stay in fixed income investment, things like treasury bills, things that that okay, your capital is preserved, it's secure. Why, if you're high risk, then you can do like things like stock market, you can trade in currencies, all that stuff, But if you don't know your risk profile, you might end up losing money because you might end up putting money in somewhere that that doesn't fit into your risk profile, and then you lose money because you cannot afford to see your money falling, and then you start trying to like sell your assets. And when you sell, when the market's already crashing, you're already losing money. So either way, you're already losing. The third thing is to know your investment duration. Like, so how long do you want to invest for? It depends on you. Let's say you're investing for an MBA in the next 3 years. So you know that, okay, I want to invest for an MBA in the next 3 years, and this is how much I need to invest to get to that goal. If you don't know how much, if you don't know your duration, you might get confused because some investments are long term and some are short term. What do I mean? So let's say you're investing to pay your rent, or like to move out to your own place, let's say in the next 1 year. You cannot invest that money in the stock market because the stock market is very, 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 very volatile in the short term. So if you put your rent money in the stock market, like your rent money for the next 1 year in the stock market, it means that when it's time to pay your rent, you might be stranded because your money, like because market is down. Or unlike if you had said, oh, you know what, my money is going to be due in the next 1 year, so let me invest in something that is like in a short term asset instead of long term assets. So just knowing your duration, like knowing how long you want to invest for, also helps you in choosing your asset, like in choosing the assets to invest in. Right. The last thing is knowing your investment budget. So how much do I want to invest, like on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis? Like having that amount also helps you because different assets have like different entry points. So when you know your budget, then you're able to like choose very well like which one suits me right now. So in a nutshell, 4 things you need to know before you go start investing. First of all, you need to know your risk profile. You need to know your investment goal. You need to like know your investment duration, how long you want to invest for, and you need to know your investment budget. The last thing that is super important is to also understand the asset before you invest in the assets. So I always say invest in your knowledge before investing your money because investing is it's kind of like volatile, right? It's not very straightforward because like the markets are always changing. If you do not understand an asset first before investing, it might affect you because like you might go in thinking that this thing is able, it's actually big, So also spending time to understand an asset before you now invest your money in assets is also super helpful. It kind of like helps you guard against like losses and all that stuff. So you should do your research about an option. Like, okay, this option, who are the guys behind it? Who are the people that have used them before? Like, do they work? How did they pay my returns? Like, what did they actually invest in? Doing all those preliminary question asking kind of helps you. And it kind of like prevents you from making mistakes when investing. Now, the final part. So you've done all these things. As a young person, what should I invest in? Let's say, okay, so now I know my investment budgets, I know my goal, I know my timeline. What can I like? What are the options that are available to me to invest as a young person with limited income? So I'll talk about four major options that you can invest in. The first one is fixed income assets, right? So things like treasury bills or like bonds. T-bills are basically like a way to loan the government money, and in return the government pays you an interest. So these are like T-bills. T-bills usually last for like 3 months to 1 year. They're short-term assets. So if you want to say invest for let's say a short-term goal, T-bills are a great way to invest your money because it's short-term and it's secure. But note that T-bills rates are currently really low in Nigeria. So you want to also be careful about that. Speaking of which, you also need to be careful when choosing an investment option. You must also compare the investment return to inflation rate of the country. Inflation rate just basically means that how fast are prices of goods in the country increasing. So in Nigeria today, our rate is as high as 12%, and we have T-bills rates as low as 4%. So what that means is that when you invest in T-bills, you're actually getting negative return because the prices of goods are rising faster than your money is growing. So it's not really a good option at this time to invest in T-bills. Well, that is an option that is available to you if you're a short-term investor who cares more about capital preservation and capital appreciation. The second thing is stock markets, both local and foreign stock markets. So we all know about stock markets, basically where you can buy shares of companies, public companies. But note that this asset is like super risky. It's very volatile. Currently, the market is not doing so well because of the coronavirus and all that stuff. But it's also a great way to make money over time. We all know of Warren Buffett, like the richest investor in the world. Okay, the third richest man in the world. I think around that he has probably 40 or something like that. But like he made most of his money from stock market. So that tells us that there's money to make in the stock market. It is very, very risky, yes, but if you understand it, you can make money from it, And think about stock market investing like as a long-term investment project. So think like 3 to 5 years. If you need the money in 2 years, don't put it in the stock market because like it might not work out well for you. The third thing is real estate. So we live in Africa. We have like lots of like virgin land and other stuff. We also have commercial real estate in the sense that people that where you can invest like in a building, like say let's say rental in a building where you now rent people and then you get rental income from them. Although when it comes to real estate, it's kind of like it's kind of like expensive to go in as a young person because we all have limited income. But you can also pool money with your friends, so like from like an investment club, pool money with your friends and then invest in property together. You don't have to do it alone. When you do that, you even spread the risks, and then you also kind of reduce how much you're bringing to the table. So it's more like you're investing from a pot aside just you. And there are even platforms that that you can actually invest. There are platforms that actually allow you to come together and then invest in real estate, so that way you don't spend so much money. So I mean, just do some research. You should be able to find them. The last thing is agriculture. So currently today in Nigeria and even in Ghana, we have so many agri platforms that kind of like offer you ways to fund farmers, and then in exchange they give you return for your money. And this return can be like from 50% to like 30%, depending on how long you're investing for. So like, and it's not also very expensive. It's pretty affordable. Like some are like between 50k to 100k naira. So those are like things that you can, as a young person in Nigeria or Ghana or Kenya, like in Africa basically, these are things that are open to you to invest in. But note that for treasury bills, they are low risks. For stocks, they are high risks. For real estate, it's kind of like medium risks. And for agriculture, it's also like medium risk. So before choosing anyone to invest in, do your own research. Ask yourself, this money I want to invest, where do I need the money? Is it long term or short term? If it is short term, that means you should do like T-bills. If it is like long term, then you can do things like stock markets if it falls within your risk profile. So I hope that with this you're able to. The goal is for you to like take your first step in investing, because investing is a way to build wealth for yourself in the long term. So it's not good that young people don't invest because they don't understand the market. So we are hoping that with this video you're able to like understand the market a little bit, and then have a plan as to how to begin your investment journey. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram, Twitter, or anywhere else that we are.